Have you ever picked up your phone to check one notification and suddenly realized you've been scrolling for an hour? Have you ever opened the fridge even though you weren't really hungry? Or promised yourself you'd go to bed early, only to find yourself watching just one more video at 2 in the morning? If you've done any of these things, you're not alone. But what if I told you these aren't simply signs of laziness, lack of discipline, or weak willpower? What if the problem is that your brain is trying to solve problems that no longer exist? Because the truth is, the human brain wasn't designed for the world we live in today. It was designed for a completely different one. A world where food was scarce, where danger could hide behind any bush, where being rejected by your group could mean death. For almost all of human history, people lived as hunter-gatherers. Small tribes moved across vast landscapes, searching for food, water, and safety. Life was unpredictable. There were no supermarkets, no smartphones, no endless streams of information competing for attention. Your ancestors faced immediate challenges: finding enough calories to survive, avoiding predators, and maintaining strong social bonds within their tribe. And over thousands of generations, evolution shaped the human brain to handle exactly those problems. The problem is that while our environment changed rapidly, our brains didn't. Agriculture emerged around 12,000 years ago. Cities appeared only a few thousand years ago. The Industrial Revolution transformed society in just a few centuries. And the digital age? Barely a few decades. In evolutionary terms, that's the blink of an eye. The brain inside your skull today is remarkably similar to the brain of someone who lived thousands of years ago. Yet the world surrounding it has become almost unrecognizable. Take food, for example. For our ancestors, high-calorie foods were incredibly valuable. Sweet fruits signaled energy. Fat meant survival during harsh times. Those who were strongly motivated to seek out calorie-rich foods were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. That reward system still exists. But now, instead of occasionally discovering honey in the wild, we have access to entire aisles filled with foods carefully engineered to be irresistible. Your brain responds to these foods the same way it always has. The environment changed. The wiring stayed the same. The same thing happens with attention. Imagine you're an early human walking through a forest. Ignoring sudden movements or unusual sounds could be fatal. Being curious about new information was an advantage. Your brain evolved to pay attention to novelty. Now fast forward to today. Notifications light up your screen. Headlines compete for clicks. Short videos deliver new information every few seconds. Modern technology didn't create your desire for novelty. It learned how to exploit it. Then there's stress. Our ancestors certainly experienced stress, but it usually came in short bursts. Escape the predator. Survive the storm. Resolve the conflict. Then recover. Modern stress often works differently. Deadlines, exams, financial pressure, an inbox that never stops filling up. Your body can respond to these challenges using systems originally designed for immediate physical threats. Except now, the threat isn't something you can outrun. And perhaps one of the strangest contradictions of modern life is loneliness. Humans evolved as social creatures. Belonging to a group wasn't optional. It was essential for survival. Today, many people can communicate with hundreds or even thousands of others through a screen. Yet feelings of isolation remain surprisingly common. Because the kind of connection our brains evolved around involved shared experiences, face-to-face interaction, and communities built over time. None of this means modern life is bad. In many ways, this is the safest, healthiest, and most technologically advanced period humans have ever experienced. But understanding where our instincts come from can help explain why certain aspects of modern life feel so difficult. Why resisting temptation is hard. Why constant stimulation can be exhausting. Why meaningful relationships matter. And why sometimes, despite living in a world of convenience, our minds can still feel out of place. The human brain isn't defective. It's ancient. It's a tool shaped by millions of years of evolution, trying its best to navigate a world that changed faster than it could adapt. Maybe the goal isn't to fight against our nature. Maybe it's to understand it. Because once we recognize that our brains were built for a different world, we can start designing habits, environments, and lives that work with our biology instead of against it. And perhaps that's one of the most important skills for surviving the modern age.